And we are live on this Wednesday, October 19th. And we are live in Alexandria, Louisiana, on the campus of Holy Savior Menard Central High School. This is the Eagles Nest Coaches Show with head coach Justin Charles. And to my right, and maybe to your left, depending on how you're looking at it, is head coach Justin Charles. I'm Tom Boucher, and we're here for an hour. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully we go through this whole hour without any kind of technical difficulty.
There won't be. We're going to speak life on it.
That's right.
So there will not
That's
be.
right. So welcome, Coach.
Thank you.
Another week gone by, another game, and it certainly didn't turn out the way we had hoped.
No.
The Avoyelles game, and we talked really, a lot about covering that onside kick, and then you went and took the ball on the opening kickoff. You were ready. The guys were ready, and then it didn't happen.
Oh, yeah, 2 times in a row, really. Really, it was 3 times in a row. The first 2 times we just didn't get the ball. We weren't aggressive. We didn't attack the football on the very first one. And on the next one, the ball's kicked right to us, and it just bounces off of one guy, and then bounces off another one of our guys and goes right into their hand. So we practiced that. I mean, we probably got almost 100 reps on onside kick or hands team the previous week, and it just didn't happen for us.
Yeah.
When you're playing with the oval ball, you never know how it's going to fall, and it just didn't fall in our hands the other day on those onside kicks.
That's right. I mean, it's almost like playing shortstop.
That's
or
right.
Maybe second base, third base. You guys, you get a hot shot on it, on you. You cannot wait on it because it will burn you every time. You got to go attack.
You got to attack the football, and that's what we practiced. I'm telling you, we practiced 1,000,000 reps at it, and it just didn't fall our way. But again, we watched the film on it, and hopefully we got those things corrected. Because that's one thing we do is we watch the film and we go back and try to correct those mistakes. But that's a scenario that we definitely worked multiple times on multiple occasions last week.
And that's that. I just wanted to bring that up at the top, and we've got some clips, and we'll see that, and we'll revisit it when we get into the clips in the next segment. The other thing that we talked about is, after the show and even during the show was taking their punches, because they're gonna come out and they're gonna punch, and you want to be able to take it and then give it back. And I thought that happened, and we'll kind of discuss that. Even after the first 2 touchdowns after the onside kicks, the drive was tremendous that we had. And we'll show that. We got some of those highlights of that drive. It just didn't end the way we wanted that one.
That's right.
So now we're looking at you coming off of a 51-0, win at homecoming with Pickering, going into the game sky high, and then it's 58-0 at the end of the Avoyelles game.
Right.
Emotions up, down, it's like the stock market.
Oh man, it's a roller coaster. It's all, I can't say what I was about to say, but it's like a roller coaster sometimes. We're up and we're down, but we can't do that. That's how life is. That's how the game of football is. But we've got to be consistent. It's going to be up and down in the game of life, and we've just got to stay consistent on the up and up arrow. And we're not doing that right now. We're just kind of going with the flow at times, and that's one thing that we're going to keep preaching to the kids and making sure that they grow and understand that, hey, yes, we do want to win these football games and things like that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's about growing these young men into being positive and being, great leaders and great young men and great husbands, all of those types of things. But we can't ride those highs and lows of life. We've got to continuously go up and down. So right now we're just learning a lot of different things. We've got to figure out the guys that want it, the guys that love it, the guys that want to be in there, and the guys that ain't got no quit in them either. So that's part of the battle right now. Also, I know you guys mentioned at the end of last week after the game, but we've still got an opportunity to make the playoffs. We're sitting at the 25 seed, 24 gets in. And we actually have a shot at getting up a little bit up because of the strength of our schedule, a little bit higher than the 24. We can get in. We can actually almost get into the top 20, which is crazy. But we'll have that opportunity this week, the following week, and then definitely the last week of the season. So it's just about finishing strong right here and understanding that it's time to finish and battle and continue to battle.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because we're dealing with sometimes 14, 15-year-olds, 16, 17, maybe an 18-year-old. I mean, I was an 18-year-old in high school.
Yeah.
I don't know how often that happens now, but, those emotions can ride. I mean, that's got to be difficult. We see it in grown men.
I know.
You know, in the NFL, you see it in college, and I love the way you phrase that, because we're talking about a game, but this game is a learning experience for something bigger than that.
That's
you know,
right.
for people who don't understand, you know, how important sports are, you know, in the lives of these kids, you know, and how important coaches are, you know, as well as teachers, but dealing with adversity.
Yep.
You know, these guys, most of them are not going to play, and maybe all of them on this team are never going to play college ball.
Yeah, you never know.
You know, they might.
Yeah.
You know, some might,
Yeah.
but it's a small
It's
percentage.
it's a very small window, and we've got to learn to just understand that this game it's bigger than life. I mean, it's bigger than the game. It's all about learning curves in life, about learning, hey, this is what I've got to do on a day-to-day basis. There's going to be things that go wrong in your marriage one day. There's going to be things that go wrong with your kids at work. I mean, you know, walking down the street, there's going to be things that go wrong in life. But you got to still wake up and go to work the next day. You still got to wake up and do those same things the next day to get better and improve. And so that's one thing we talk to the guys about a lot. You know, and we always talk to the kids about you can't stay level. You know, because every day somebody's working to get better. And if you stay level, you're just getting worse. So we've got to continue to get better and better at something every day. And it's just a learning curve in life. And so I am proud of the guys for at this point. We ain't quit yet, and we're still showing up and still doing what we got to do.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, because that's true. If you don't improve yourself, somebody's going to pass you up.
That's right.
More than one person's going to pass you up. And then keeping control of your emotions.
Yep.
You know, that will go far, you know, for them in life, a lot further than, you know, what's happening right now on the football field with the wins, you know, W's and L's. But, I mean, heck, now you got to think about you're driving a car and you let your emotions get with you. You don't know if the guy's going to pull a gun on you.
That's right.
You know, when you yell and scream at him.
That's right.
We see that happen all the
That's
time.
right.
So, I mean, controlling those emotions, getting them to a point where they don't control you, and then that's when you can start getting better.
Correct.
So let's talk a little bit about the next man up. You know, as we're in this segment, you know, a couple of at least one injury.
Yeah.
You know that occurred, but we lost Drake Aldridge earlier, and you have to have somebody step up. I'm wondering, is that why we saw in the game Brock Bordelon and Gage Oser, you know, come in, who play normally offense but hardly play defense, kind of coming in on the defensive line?
Yeah, you know, and at the second half, you know, Coach Scully asked those guys at halftime, guys, we got somebody back. We need guys that want to come in, and that's going to give us everything that you got. And, you know, those guys, man, right after that, they come up to Coach, and they're like, Coach, we want it. You know, those two guys and Cooper Brown came up to him and said, Coach, we want to play. We just want to help the team out the best way we possibly can. And that's what we want. We want those types of kids. And none of those kids are perfect, you know. None of us are perfect. But those young men stepped up and said, hey, I want to do this, what's best for my team. And they came in and they gave us everything that they had. You know, some of them got in there and crawled for us. Some of them got in there and, you know, they might have got blown up every now and then. But you know what? They gave everything that they had, and they were doing it for their team. And that's ultimately those team players are – that's what
you want.
That's what you got to have. You got to have.
Well, it's interesting. We saw Brock go out there. And, you know, he's not the biggest of dudes. And he had a task, you know, not only as a center with the big defensive, nose tackle that they played, but then he had to turn around and go up against another big dude at center.
Exactly.
You know, and yet he went in there and never thought about it twice.
He
was in there getting after it.
He wasn't scared, you know. I don't think Brock's scared of anything in life. You know, if it is, I'd like to know, because that dude jumps in there for anything. I remember it was the week of OC. We were looking for guys to do certain things on defense, man, and he just kept on begging to get in there. And we're like, Brock, this week we cannot afford you to get hurt because we've only got one center this week, you know. And
you play shotgun.
Yeah.
You got to have somebody who can snap it.
Yeah, exactly. So he understood, man, but you know, this week he was able to get in there. But it's unbelievable to have kids like that just want to jump in there. And the way that Coach Scully phrased it was, we want guys that want to do this for their team, not guys that just want to go and play. It's guys that want to do it for their team. And, man, those guys jumped up. And there was a couple more guys that jumped in there and said, I want to do it, but there's no way we could have put those guys in that position.
In that position
in that position to do it.
Yeah, and you know, not thinking about it, but the transition that I just made right there will happen in the fourth segment.
Yeah.
When we talk about a player profile,
I
because you
kinda
know
figured
what number
that.
we're
Yeah,
on, right?
Yeah, we were 58 last week, so it's 70 this week.
There was no planning on that, Coach. I promise you. I promise. It's just part of the conversation.
Oh, yeah.
But as we were talking about him, I thought, hey, we're profiling Brock too. So that's perfect. All right, so we'll take a commercial break and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. So don't go away. We're gonna break down some of the clips that that we did. We got 11 clips. And we'll get Coach Scully over here with us after he finishes with some water.
That's right.
And y'all get thirsty out there.
On the practice
field.
We just got off that field.
Even in the cold weather.
You got to rehydrate.
Man. So once he gets over here, we got a mixture. This time I did it in the order of how the plays happened. So it didn't separate offense and defense. We're just going to do 5, and then we'll do 6 after that.
Let's do it.
All right. So we'll go with the walk-ons right after this. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. You're watching the Eagles Nest Coaches Show with head coach Justin Charles.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by 2 walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
The 2022 Time Dealer of the Year, Bob Giles, is now the new Hyundai dealer in Senla. Bob earned the industry's most prestigious award out of 16,000 new car dealers nationwide.
Hi, I'm Bob Giles, and I promise our team at the all-new Giles Hyundai will do everything possible to live up to the high standards that earned us this most prestigious honor. And with the utmost enthusiasm, we greatly look forward to serving you.
And we are back live. We're back live with the Eagles Nest Coaches Show on the front porch of the man cave of the baseball complex. And I'm going to try to make sure that I can get this main shot right here. There it is, right there. We get that rolling. Let me see if I can get that browser off. Yep. There we go. So joining us now is with head coach Justin Charles.
Come on in, Coach.
Defensive coordinator Thomas Scully. Coach has joined us the last couple of weeks, and so he's become almost a permanent member of the show. And I bet you're really excited.
Every time I'm on here, they they score about 50 points on us.
Like when he's not here, we're always going to have a little picture of him right there sitting between us. We'll have a picture sitting right here between us.
Yeah, so if you didn't hear, Coach Scully said that every time he's on, we give up 50 points.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, you know.
And we score 0.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm going to take both of those.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm afraid that y'all aren't going to want me because when I was gone, y'all won 51-0, and I'm here.
Speaking of that, that was the next topic on the that's section number 4, actually. So you're good.
That's right. That's
like,
right.
wait,
We can make it through at least 1-2 more segments.
There we
maybe.
go.
Huh? Man, I had a question and I just lost it while y'all made me lose it when we were talking. So let's go back. Let's see. We've got the coaches show. I got to go back to the Eagles Nest coaches show. That's going to pull that up, which is okay. We can get rid of that other shot. We just wanted to show you that Coach was with us. So here we go on the plays that we clipped. Let me see where I start from. First onside. Okay, that's got to be the first play, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know what it was. You know,
we
create that advantage
like this.
Manny. Anyway, we got to thank all of our sponsors
with
folks,
the fireworks and everything
when they come out.
No.
To create that advantage.
Like, we're running.
Anyway, we got to thank all of our sponsors, folks,
come out late.
for to create that advantage.
Because the officials had to go in and get
Anyway, we got to
supposed to
thank
come
all
and
of our
get us.
sponsors.
We always come. We always try to get the guys out
to create
at the
that
8-minute mark
advantage
and the 7-minute mark.
Anyway, we got to thank all of
a
our
lot of
sponsors,
teams will come
folks,
out.
for
the home team will come out
that advantage.
Did
you know? Anyway, we got to thank all of our sponsors, folks.
Yeah, because they fired a bunch off, and I thought, oh man,
to create that advantage.
Come out,
and
it's almost like they fired half.
Anyway,
of
we got to
them, and they
thank
waited
all
for
of
you
our
to come out, and they
sponsors,
started
folks,
shooting off the
for
I have no idea.
to create that advantage.
Give them a little bit of juice, like some
Anyway,
other
we got to
teams do
thank
in
all
the
of our
area.
sponsors, folks.
We got to get a lot more money to be able to
create
do
that
fireworks, right?
advantage.
So the Eagles got to get this.
So here we are. This is the first. We talked about it a little bit earlier at the top of the show.
And there's the punt. They got to get down on it, fall on it. I don't know if we have it or not.
Like
Avoyle's got it. I don't understand.
As we watch this,
They practice it all.
punt to so the Eagles got to get this.
Looks like number 18 is their kicker. And there's the punt. They got to get down on it,
There's
fall
the
on
punt.
it.
Look at that. There's my mistake right off the top. Maybe that's what caused it. But we were talking about it, and you kind of mentioned it. When you kind of bring it back a little bit, let me pull their audio off so we don't have it as we go. But if we can pull this video back just a hair, as far as not attacking the ball.
Right. And look, you said it even on the show. You knew we practiced that a million times last week, it felt like, and a bunch of different scenarios. And, right there, Jaden Lewis, he just doesn't step up. The ball's coming to him. He's got to step up, make the play, be aggressive, attack the football, and he doesn't do it, And we're all kind of sitting back waiting. You can see the guys in the back there. I think that's Gavin Hilton. And then Cody Lyons on the other side. We saw it on our film. We just weren't attacking the football, So it was a group effort right there where the ball's coming at one guy, and we know we're supposed to attack the football, and we just didn't do it. Again, that's us preparing those kids for it, and I felt we were prepared for it. We did it a million times, and we just didn't execute.
Yeah, and I wonder, we talked a little bit about it, David and I did, about the possibility. Is this something that you guys have talked about or practice where, maybe that second line, the first line allows the ball to go by, the second line attacks it and gets it, and that first line goes in and starts blowing up the other team, and blocking them like crazy.
That is a scenario that we worked on, but in that scenario, if you watch the ball, it's not coming hard enough for the second line to go get it.
Gotcha.
So if the ball would have stopped without even us going, the ball only went maybe 11, maybe 12 yards. So
that's when the front line's got to recognize that.
The front line's got to attack that football, and that's on the front line on that one. That's a little dribbler that was going to one guy. He's got to attack the football and fall on it, and everybody else got to cover him up. So
do you want him getting that ball, 8 yards in front, knowing that it's coming, it's going to go past 10?
On that one, yeah, he could have got that one at 8 because it was right there. They were at about 7 yards. Now, I do feel, and I'm not going to lie, I know Coach Scully was probably about to say it, but that ball was touched by them. the ball was touched by them. The opening kickoff, the ball was touched by them.
Almost all of them are
10 yards.
touched by him.
Well, I'm talking about before 10 yards, and that's illegal touching.
Yeah, that's right.
And so,
but they're coached to do that until they get called.
Yeah, and so it is what it is. They didn't call it. We can't. You can never rely on referees, especially in this area, to help you out. So we've got to make sure that we can't leave any doubt on that scenario. So our kids got to attack the football at 8 yards. He should have got that, possibly 9 yards, but he's got to attack it.
We have got to maintain the first punch in the mouth. And then here's the misdirection again. It was a handoff. That was a missed tackle by Matt Kirk, number 1, trying to reach from a distance to grab, and you're not going to get William. We have got to maintain. So here we are. We're kind of talking about what we mentioned, is taking that first shot, in the mouth, which was the kickoff, and then coming in and saying, all right, let's get our stops. And I remember y'all saying, it's okay. They're going to get, maybe a first down here or a first down there, but eventually we get our stop. If we can stop them at 2 or 1 yards, that's a win, because they want 3 or 4 every time.
Yep.
But this number 4 seemed to just be hiding from everybody, and we just didn't see, didn't catch him, coming up the middle. Coach, what were you hearing from the players when they came off the sidelines about this play? Or just any of the plays, because they always handed it to him and went up the middle.
On that particular play, we just didn't make the tackle. So when they got in that offset look like you see right there with 4 and 3 to one side, and then they had the other wing going in motion, all they were trying to do is run a counter. So basically what you do is you leave 2 guys unblocked, which we did, which was a free safety in the corner, and it ends up you just got to make the play. And that was not a trick play. That was just not making the play. So, that's going to happen in games like this. And I think it's more nerves than anything. But it goes back to what Coach has said. It's preparation. It's focus. It's wanting to be in the game. We had some guys that didn't start for certain reasons. But in the end, you can point the finger all you want. But it's if you really have 11 guys that want to really be out there, that's what it boils down to. And, I mean, they didn't do anything that was a secret, and that's not a trick play. That's just people just doing their job and making a play. And, I mean, look at the white jerseys compared to the lone black jersey. So we should have made that play, but you know what? We didn't, and the opportunities were there to be made. But in that particular play, we had them 3rd and short, which is where we wanted it. We knew what they were going to run in that play based off the formation. But, again, it goes back to day one on Monday when we don't recognize it. We don't scream it out. They're running counter because of the offset in the backfield, all the little things. So it's all about how bad do you really want to be in there and make that play. And that's, it's not here nor there.
On this one here, it seemed like 16 had the ball, and then he ended up doing the handoff to 4.
Sure, and we worked that. We worked it all week.
We worked that all week.
Yeah.
Now, here with Kirk, was that just a being in the wrong place, and not breaking down and not getting up there fast enough, or did he take a bad angle and just couldn't reach him?
No, right there he should have just worked a form tackle like we work every day in the tackle circuit.
Okay.
Yep.
So we'll move on. So that led to a touchdown, and then we have the second kick.
And all Eagles should be running to the ball, and actually they should be running up and blocking.
I don't mean to coach here, Coach. I'm sorry. Just some ideas that came in my head. I'm sorry.
Come up and get it. So 4 is there, 55. 4's going to kick it. Let's cover it. Get on the ball. It's live.
They're going to get it again.
And you're sitting there waiting on it, and you just can't do that.
So, again, that's exactly what we talked about. I mean, that was coming a lot faster.
Yeah, but that's a candy hop right there to us, though. There's no reason for us to go up and block on that one. It's kicked right to you. You just go because what happens is if it's kicked right to you, as hard as it is, and you try to move out the way, it hits your foot, it bounces off somebody else, and right there, we kicked way harder than that, way tougher kicks than that in practice, and we fielded them. So.
And then it just got a terrible bounce off of him, and shot a couple of yards forward and right into their hands.
Yep.
And then of course that's the kind of the third punch, that we had to take, and then we had Williams again. Williams had a big night.
All the way down. They don't. They're moving. They hand it up. Oh, number 4, Josh Williams breaking that one all the way for the touchdown.
So that was just kind of the same play, wasn't it? You know, in terms of what they run, you know, what we saw on that first touchdown.
Right.
Anything different on this one?
No, that's just a counter play that we just, again, it's about execution, man. And trust me, we watched the film with our kids, and there was a lack of execution. You know, it was lack of execution.
So, you know, what we'll do then is come back, and we had, you know, this one right here. Just go ahead and run this one. This one is one that we finally take, and then the offense can get on the field.
I was just fixing to bring that up, that, you know, you got to still have the
so
confidence.
that's something that we talked about, and I kind of wanted to ask you in terms of you got the guys out there, and it's been so fast. You know, I mean, they missed the two of them, and they scored 2 touchdowns so quick, but it was only 12-0.
Yeah.
You know, they missed y'all stopped both 2-point conversions. So a touchdown, and man, you're right back in it. You know, what are some of the words that both of you guys are saying? You know, or maybe just you. You know, in terms of trying to build their confidence about this next onside kick.
Well, going in, because I talked with all the special teams guys and coached those guys up, and look, that was when we went out there, we huddled up like we do every time. Nothing changed. Hey guys, let's execute what we do in practice. That's all I told them. So let's execute what we do in practice. We've got to get the ball right here. If we get the ball, you know, no shots being thrown. We thought we could score on those guys early, and had the opportunity to. But again, it's just going out there and executing what we practiced all week.
And so they get the ball off, and it took a while to cut this. I had a little problem with being able to get it a little bit closer. But, you know, they would use 2 or 3 different kicks, and this one just came in right in front and almost lost that one. But fortunately, more people were there to be able to cover it. Yeah. There was a little fight for it in the end, but the Eagles came up with it. So we'll put a stop right there to those clips, and we'll take a quick break, and then we'll be back to look at our first drive and watch that, because there's some really nice plays in that drive that nearly led to a score. So you're watching on 446sports.com the Eagles Nest Coaches Show with head coach Justin Charles, and also Thomas Scully, the defensive coordinator, is with us, and we'll be back right after these messages.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family. For all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, apparel.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
And we're back live, and that we got to get rid of that. Actually, that was a good one. But we're back live at the Eagles Nest Coaches Show, and I think I can kind of show this. There's Coach Scully. Where is he? No, main camera right there. There he is. There's Coach Scully.
I said you're good.
You know, I just want to say before we get going into the next group of highlights that Coach fist bumped me in the hand, and it really hurt. So,
jokes.
you know,
Get your ice bag.
can I put my hand in the ice bath?
You can
Later.
do that.
Is
You
it
can-
already empty?
You can do that. You can do that.
So
as long as I don't get any. I mean, I didn't even know what happened until probably about an hour after it happened.
Well, we were in the car. You know,
like it,
and
it kind of threw me off.
Yeah. So, anyway, how did Monday go? Did y'all do the show and all that?
I'll bury it. I was there. I'll just say that.
Okay. So there was no 3-ball guys in a.
No, there was no brown ball handed. Brandon didn't have to show up.
All right, good deal. All right, so let's get after the next thing. So we just recovered. If you were with us the last the last break, we just recovered the onside kick, and now Menard for the first time in the first quarter is able to get on offense and try to move the football.
If they can do that, there's a chance.
So let's see this play.
That we can get the advantage there. Here's a pass going over the middle. He's got a man wide open. That is caught by Matt Kirk. And that is a nice pitch and catch right there down to the 30 as the line. Give him credit because Henry had all day to throw that football.
And he stayed.
You know, I say all day, but, he had more time than he's had, the whole season because I didn't see the Pickering game. But he actually stepped up in the pocket right there as he felt the pressure coming on the backside and threw a really nice ball. Now we can critique the camera work too, so don't be afraid to do that because that's Coach Perkins. But following that ball can be hard for a first-year guy on the camera.
It is. That was a play that was designed for those guys. I think we executed it very well. The protection was there, and that's the thing. We get our quarterback some protection. He can make great throws. He can make great reads. It's about getting them the time to make those throws and being confident to step up. And that was a great catch by Matt Kirk right there, who is just now starting to come into his own a little bit at some receivers. Still got a ways to go, but he's coming into his own. But he runs a good route. That was an executed play off of what we saw that they give up on a weekly basis. They did it. They played LCA, gave up a couple of throws like that, or gave up that zone. And so I felt that was a play that we can get off early.
Well, and you're down on the 30-yard line because you had great field position.
Ready.
And then we go to this.
Makes the Voyles wonder what's going on. There's 4. There it is. He's got to get rid of it. Get rid of it. He's got a man open, wide open. Nice job. First down. And he's down inside the 20. And we have entered the red.
That was the Red River Red Zone.
The Red River Red Zone.
Yeah. Here's a rollout. We've seen this before, and we've seen Michael try to throw the high side.
Yeah.
And miss the open low side. And this time he does a good job. We talked about that, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago, and you were talking with him about making better decisions and throwing it to the open guy.
Yeah. This is actually this combination of high-low stuff, we've given Mike the opportunity to look at, and we right now in our offense we're going low to high, but what I think really made this play work is we've run this formation the last 2-3 weeks, and we've either tossed it to that guy, we've run the quarterback counter or the counterback ISO, and it just kind of throws the defense off where, hey, they've seen that motion and everything's been going that way or it's been going up the middle. So now we just added our what we call our naked play off of it. We ran our naked off of it, naked boot, and so Mike makes the perfect read off of it. He has a little bit of pressure off the edge, which you're going to have when it's naked, but he makes a good throw right here, good timely throw, and Jordan Rich does a great job catching the ball and getting upfield.
So I was I forget, I can't see the number. Is that Cody Lyons?
Yeah, Cody's
right there.
Cody's the flare guy right
He's
there.
the flare guy. I did just a quick question on that. With Cody coming out, and he's just kind of trotting right there and not really looking back. Now he starts to turn back. Is he supposed to be looking back a little bit sooner to sell the play like it's coming to him, or what?
He just runs a flare straight to the sideline. So in that scenario, he is basically our check down. So if everything's covered down the field, then therefore we can just dump it to him with pressure in his face, and he can just get upfield and at least get back to the line of scrimmage or possibly break a tackle and get some extra yardage. So, but again, that was something that, again, like I said earlier, we've been tossing it to Cody. We've fake tossed it to Cody, ran inside quite a few times with Michael, especially last week against Pickering. But this week we gave a different look off of it where, hey, we're going to fake it to him, not even run the counter, keep the quarterback going deep, and then run our naked boots that we've been running all year off of it, and it worked.
Sure did, and we picked up the first down, and that put us inside the 20, and we were moving.
Yeah.
Everything's rocking and rolling, and now we get to a 4th and goal. And I got to tell
around
you,
the 2-yard line.
Well,
4th
after we
and goal
watch
from about the 2, it looks like.
Maybe the 1.
So if we can just kind of bull this thing in there, this is where Seastrunk would be huge. I'm surprised they don't have Cooper Scott back there in like a fullback position and running.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to coach.
Probably going to be used as a blocker. It looks like
Jordan.
you got to like a
Rich is in
Rich
front. I'm sorry,
Behind him, and they're going to get
I should
it to
have
Gavin.
muted that
Pop
part
in
of
there. He's got the quickness. They're going to say he didn't make it.
Man, I was ready to yell touchdown and run with
that
that.
We're down around the
but
2-yard line.
I watched this play over and over when I was cutting it, and there is no way that he wasn't in the end zone. I mean, the offensive line moves that defense back into the end zone, and he's right in behind him.
Yep.
I mean, of course, I had to come back and say I'm not in a perfect position down on the goal line to make the call, but you just watch the line right here get the push. I mean, look at that. I mean, how's he not in?
It goes back to what I said earlier. At that point in time, when you're dealing with referees, you got to leave no doubt. Our half of our offensive line does a great job right there getting a little bit of push. But if you look at the angle that we do have from the end zone copy, the other half gets blown up. And so I do think he got in. I think he got in right at the goal line. The ball did cross right at the goal line. But that's some doubt in the referee's mind. And so we can't leave any doubt. So we've got to execute the entire play. The entire offensive line's got to execute and get that push. And look, and it is what it is. We talked to Gavin Hilton about it. He's got to be able to break arm tackles. Ruben does that at a very high rate, high tempo. But Gavin's getting better at it. But at that point, man, you've got to want it more on the goal line. You've got to believe that you're going to get into that end zone. And right there, we left doubt in our mind, in the referee's mind, that if we got in or not. And so we can't leave any doubt. We should be running through the back of the end zone to leave no doubt.
Right. Yeah. And then just flipping it to the official back there.
But, and I don't know where your next plays are going, but I do know that ball is down on the 1 yard line, right?
That ball is down like at the 99.9 yard line.
All right.
And then they finished it off.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to show any of that, but they did make it 21-0. After that.
Yeah.
But I did want to show one more play, and it's a defensive play.
Well, just off of that play, that means they've got to get to the 11-yard line, past 10 yards to get a first down, right? The 10-yard line.
Oh, yeah.
The ball never crossed the 10-yard line, and the video shows it, but it is what it is. And so we should have gotten the ball back on the 10-yard line.
Well, no, that's true. Because we had that stop.
Yeah, we had the stop right after this.
We had several of those.
Yeah.
That were so close, and they wouldn't bring the chains out and measure.
No, and that one right there, that hurts early. And look, and y'all, you guys know me. I'm gonna always be honest. With a team that's struggling, that kind of broke our back right there. Our defense went out there and our offense just went out there, responded, didn't finish the drive. We felt we did, but the defense comes out there and we stuffed them. We stuffed them on that 4th down play, and we didn't get the call. And with a team that's struggling, sometimes that can break a back. And I do feel at that point it kind of broke our back. Our kids were battling at that point, and they got that first down, and it was like, okay, referees, what are we doing here? Can we at least get a measurement to prove that we did this? And they wouldn't give us that. And so that kind of broke the back of our kids a little bit. And so all we can do is just continue to fight and I hate to say it, we didn't give as much fight, as much resistance as we would have. I think if we had gotten that stop right there.
Well, I just on the defensive side, this was a play that could have gone the whole distance.
Yeah.
But I wanted to show it because of the hustle you know, that was made on
gotta
this.
trust the system.
May have led to that, but here's
number 4 again, and he's gone. I mean, no, we don't have speed, although can he catch him?
And then Jaden proved me wrong right there.
What a run from behind.
Yeah.
That was, you know, a scenario to me that just spoke volumes about, you know, you not giving up and hustling.
Yeah.
And making that touchdown saving tackle. And at that point we were hoping that maybe that would inspire a little bit more to be able to keep them out of the end zone on that. But you know, what are your thoughts?
By a voice said, hey, you did a good job because you saved it. You know, you allowed us to play. You giving us the opportunity to play another down instead of going out there and kicking the extra point or going, you know, defending the 2-point conversion against these guys. We have the opportunity to play another down, which you never know what can happen. If those guys would have fumbled the ball, we scoop and score. Well, guess what? We got momentum back. So that was a life-saving play right there. Did it turn out the way we wanted to turn out? No. At the start of the play or after the play, the previous or the plays that followed afterwards, but that was a life-saving play on that scenario, and so the effort counted right there. And look, Jaden was just the guy that caught him. There were some other guys that were still giving full effort right there as well.
Yeah, they were chasing him down. Yeah, they could have easily just stopped, knowing that they weren't going to get him.
Yeah,
you know, and Coach Scully, I mean, you know, seeing that and your defensive guys not giving up and chasing him down. I mean, you know, to me that probably kind of gave some uplifting spirits to the rest of the defense.
It did, and that's part of what we talk about all week, and we preach to them about not giving up, trying to get 11 hats to the ball, and those guys, that's just their mindset, and they know that, how to get a break, and in this case, we got a break by Jaden doing his job and just, you know, chasing the guy down. He's got great speed, he's got great talent, and you know, he don't just give up just because maybe you're not in the right spot. And he just showed that, you know what, he can go and track somebody down, and he did. And that just, like you talked about the 4th down, you know, that was probably the thing that broke our back. But, I mean, our guys really knew they could go out there and compete, and that just goes to show you right there. We were still in it, and our guys they don't ever give up, and that's what, you know, we see this week. Our guys are out there competing already this week, ready to go again, but no, that's Jaden just being Jaden and doing his job. So that's all we can ask of those guys.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to end it on that, you know, just with a hustle play, in case any of the players are watching or go back and watch this later, and just say, you know, just keep doing that, you know, and trying to make every play that you can make, and eventually things will turn around for you.
Yeah, you know, like we said earlier, it's a odd-shaped football, it's an oval-shaped football, and one week it's falling your way, the next week it's falling somebody else's way, and we got to keep battling, like Coach just said, keep battling, keep fighting, have that never-quit mentality. I know that's what we've been preaching to these guys, and they show up every single day, and they're fighting, and they understand the game plan this week. Now it's just going out there and executing, man, and so I believe that we're going to get it done at some point, and hopefully this week, and so let's just keep going.
And we're going to keep battling on this Eagles Nest Coaches Show.
That's right.
To try to get through the commercial break and come back, because I'm telling you, we're almost ready to shut this thing down. Did you smell the gumbo when they open up that door?
It's a beautiful smell.
Man, oh, man. But we got to hit a couple of commercials, and we'll be back with our a spotlight, as we alluded to in the first in the open, our player spotlight. We'll be back on the Eagles Nest Coaches Show on the 446sports.com.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by 2 walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, The trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
The 2022 Time Dealer of the Year, Bob Giles, is now the new Hyundai dealer in Senla. Bob earned the industry's most prestigious award out of 16,000 new car dealers nationwide.
Hi, I'm Bob Giles, and I promise our team at the all-new Giles Hyundai will do everything possible to live up to the high standards that earned us this most prestigious honor. And with the utmost enthusiasm, we greatly look forward to serving you.
Are back at the Eagles Next Coaches Show. Outside, it feels great out here, doesn't it?
It is. It's a little bit chilly. You know, here's the thing,
chilly.
though. It's been feeling really good the last few weeks, and I'm not a cold weather guy by no means. And so it's getting chilly out here. So Coach Scully might have to take over. He's got a hoodie on and everything.
You know, we still have the screws on the wall inside that we can hang the banner back and go back in if it gets too cold
or something.
If it gets too cold.
I'm not a fan of cold weather.
I love this weather.
I do too.
Look, if I'm outside coaching football or something like that or running around with the kids, I'm good. But right now, man, just sitting here. Ooh.
Well, you know what? I'll bring the heater like I bring the the wireless speaker
there we go.
every week.
So I'll be cold next week is what you're saying.
Exactly. So this is the point in time in this break that we talk a little bit about a profile, a senior.
Mm-hmm.
And we only have 8 seniors on the roster, and if I'm correct, we only have a couple. We only have a couple guys left.
Should have 3 more left.
This is game 7 coming up, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't do it the first week, so yeah, we have number 70, 78, and 84.
Yep.
And
or actually, we skipped one.
Well, we did.
Yeah,
we did.
We skipped one because 84 is actually now 51.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
that's
but it's
true.
Okay. We're going off.
But
the
he did wear
roster.
84 in the beginning.
That's what his initial number was, and you know he will come around to him.
We'll get back.
He's a knucklehead.
He'll
anyway.
get talked about.
Yeah, he'll get talked about in a good way.
So number 70, yeah, you know, every team needs a good center.
Yeah.
You know, somebody who can deliver the ball to the quarterback on a consistent basis. And if you don't believe me, just go back and watch the first LSU game.
Yeah.
You know, and nothing against Garrett Dellinger, you know, but he never played center before. And they tried to stick him in there. And it's a tough thing in a shotgun situation to basically, you know, blindly snap the ball.
Yeah.
Because you got to know who you're blocking too, right?
That's right.
And so Brock Bordelon.
Borderline, number 70.
70. He was a starter last year.
Uh-huh.
And this year, was he a starter, 2 years ago?
2 years ago, he actually started a couple games as a sophomore. Or I don't want to say he started, but he rotated and got a few reps here and there. So last year, whenever we put him in, we were real comfortable putting him in as a freshman, as a junior, getting the reps that he got. And as a sophomore, he came in and did a great job because he rotated in that guard a little bit with Kane Richardson and a couple other guys that were rotating in that guard. And, man, he's just one of those types of kids that, you know, I would there's hard to find anything bad about Brock. You know, he's not a perfect kid.
Well, this is not the section to talk about.
I know,
no,
I know.
kidding.
But you know, I just think about kids like this, man, and he's the type of kid I want on every team, wherever I'm at, any year, whatever. That's the type of kid I want to have on my team. You know, he shows up on time. He gives everything that he has. You know, and when I meet, he's a team captain, and when I meet with the team captains, man, you know, he's always that kid. Coach, what do we have to do to get better? I just want to win. I just want to get better. I just want to do this. And whatever we tell him, he transitions it on the practice field. He transitions it on the game field because he understands what it takes to be a leader. He leads in multiple different ways. Like I've talked about this with a couple other kids. He's one of those kids that when you look at the Menard way, he's the Menard way. He's on the MAC team, which is the Menard Apostles of Christ. He's a team captain. He's got a 29 ACT. He's got like a 3.9 something GPA. I mean, his teammates respond to him. He's enthusiastic. I mean, we could be up by 51. We can be down by 51. He's got the same type of energy, and he's just the type of kid that all his teammates look up to. And when he says something, you know, for the most part, everybody responds to it.
It's like E.F. Hutton.
Yeah, man. He's one of those types of kids, man. And look, he ain't as big as a minute. You know, he's as big as a minute. He's a little bitty guy. You know, he's about 5'8", about, you know, I might be giving him 20 pounds here, but he's about 175. But he fights like he's 240, you know, he's like he's 250 and just continues to work. And he's one of those guys we mentioned earlier, you know, when
and I wanted to transition over to Coach Scully on this too, because it's the perfect setup. And it's just natural because that's all you're doing is talking from the heart, as you've done every time for the team. This was the first week, Coach, that we saw several offensive linemen go out there, and I don't know if he was the first one that you put out there to help out with the defensive line and give some breaks to some guys, but he went out there and played nose tackle.
Sure he did, and you know, I love Brock, and the thing about Brock is Brock's been trying to get on the defensive side for about 4 weeks now. I just wouldn't let him do it because he's the only center we actually have that has experience. You know, and the thing is, we've got Lane Evans, who's a great kid too, but Lane is just and we tell these kids all the time, the speed when you get on that field on Friday night compared to the way we practice, it's like 5 to 10 times faster. So, you know, we don't want to put kids out there to get them hurt or put them in a situation to fail. So, you know, in Brock's situation, he was just coming back from a hand injury. And so he was just, you know, he's probably 3 weeks into being 100%. And, you know, he was on my case, even with the cast on his hand, trying to snap the ball. Coach, I want to play defense. I said, I know you want to play defense, but you're not playing defense. But that's just Brock. I mean, Brock is who he is, and he's a great kid. You know, just a great leader. But yeah, you know, I don't know. It's kind of funny. You just got to know these guys when you're around them every day, and they're constantly dropping stuff in your ear. And Coach, I need you. Coach, hey man, go stand over there in the corner, and I'm gonna let you know when it's your turn. Okay? No, but we knew. I mean, Brock's just one of those guys. They're all like that.
He just wants to play.
He just wants to play,
yeah.
Man.
And look, it's his senior year.
Yeah.
You know, we're profiling only seniors.
Yeah.
And this Friday against Rosepine, we got to encourage everybody to come out. I know you can.
Seniors.
I know you can watch it on 446sports.com live.
And here Tom Boucher.
And just watch the game. Yeah, but they can always go back and watch it archived too. I mean, because it's on there forever. So you can always go back and watch it. But get out there this Friday for kickoff at 7 o'clock and come and support not only the Menard Eagles, but this senior class that has spent 4 years out there toiling, you know, in the beginning to try to get playing time. But some of these guys for several years have been out there trying to get W's and just have a good time and do what's right for this football team.
Oh, yeah.
And we need full stands out there.
That's right. We got to have a full crowd, you know, out there supporting these guys, these seniors, unbelievable seniors. And you know, as a third year coach here, this is the type of class. It's hard when I talk about these seniors, you know, all the way, you know, I'm thinking all of them from whatever from jersey number 0 all the way to jersey number 99. This is the type of senior class you want to have every single year because these guys, you know, they're not. I'm not saying none of them are perfect players. I'm talking about the perfect mentality that you got to have for seniors, you know. And there's some of them that do it in a different way. And this is the type of senior class I wish I had every year. And I'll tell you this right now, and we're still talking about Brock. Brock's the guy that he makes us tick. He really does. When Brock's ticking, we're ticking. And, I've got a lot of stories about Brock, but, one thing I think was one thing that always sticks out to my mind that was really cool to me about Brock Bordelon was, this summer his family went on vacation. And, we got summer workouts. Well, his mom told me, we're going on vacation this date, this date, this date. And I'm like, okay, cool. Enjoy y'all's vacation. So Brock's going to be gone. Brock shows up. I said, Brock, what are you doing? I thought y'all were on vacation. Coach, no, there's no vacation. It's football. This is my senior season. I'm not missing a beat.
There you go.
And it was unbelievable. And I was like, man, that's the type of dude you got to have.
And that's why fans should come out Friday
That's right.
and come out and support these
That's
seniors and the rest of the team. And we're not going to take a commercial break right now because it's 6:57. We're going to close this show down. But I'll run commercials at the end, after we close.
Watch them, everybody. Watch them.
Yep, watch them and support our sponsors.
That's right.
You've seen the commercials running. You've seen the sponsorship billboard, that has run. I don't want to mention all of them because I'll forget one of them. But any sponsor you see, please go out and support their businesses locally. And it is local. Every one of them are local.
Yes, no doubt.
But let's talk a little bit quickly about Rosepine coming up. They've been perennially a really good 2A team.
Yes.
Is it any different this year for them?
I'll let Coach Scully go first.
They're not going to be any different. Ethan Fry was a quarterback last year, and he did a great job. But they've got a number 2 that was a receiver last year. They returned to Cody at running back, and they've got the Woods. Number 10, the Woods kid that plays both ways at linebacker, and he plays a little bit of slot, and he gets in as fullback. But they're going to run a spread offense, and they're going to run a read, and quarterback read, and they're going to throw the ball. They're going to run the ball. They've got guys that average 240 at the guards to 305 at the tackle. So, I mean, they're going to come at you, and it's just another great team that we're going to play, and again, we didn't back off it at all. We're going to come out and try to compete against them. I mean, they put up some points, but Coach Ducote does a great job over there, and they've had a lot of success in the last couple years. And this is a great class they have. They got 13 seniors, and they just do a great job of mixing it up, run and pass, and the receivers are phenomenal. So they're going to give you a balanced attack. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. But speaking of senior night, I do want to put this in there. Senior night actually starts at 6:20. So, if you want to get out there, it actually starts at 6:20. So all those festivities are going to be before the game. But we're excited. We're just going to get out there and play our base defense, and we're going to get after it. And our guys, we had a great, we've had some great practices this week, and we just respond, and that's what I like about this group. And it goes back to those captains and those seniors. Nobody's given up. Nobody's let up. But we're going to respond. We're going to play hard, and it's going to be a fun night, Friday night.
So what we're going to do, and we'll talk a little bit about offensively what you're anticipating from Rosepine on the defense, but just to let everybody know, I'm going to try to get our broadcast started at about 6:15, so that at 6:20 we'll have the camera on center field, so that all the seniors will be seen, and then we'll just stay on until 6:45 for the pregame, and then the kickoff at 7 o'clock. So you'll see kind of a pause in the coverage. But we're going to show it just like we do halftime, and have the Nat sound mic going so they can try to hear some of the things that are being said about the senior players coming up.
That'd be awesome.
I want to do that for them, and then they can go back and look at it after the game and watch, because I'm sure parents will be walking with them and coming down center field, kind of like homecoming.
Oh, that'd be special for them. I think that's a really good idea.
So I'm gonna we'll make that happen. So real briefly on offense. What are you preparing for?
Well, their defense, man. Coach mentioned a kid named Michael Woods, number 10. Man, that kid flies around like nobody's business. But they also got they put Grant Ducote out there. The head coach's son, man. He's out there at outside linebacker. There's so many kids. Number 7, number 3, number 1, number 16. Those guys are all over the field on both sides of the ball, and man, they just play so fast. But one thing that we've got to do is we've got to try to, we're going to try to keep these guys off balance with our plays and keeping them moving and keeping their eyes going different ways. And so we're going to try to do things like that to get it going, and so we feel, all of our kids got to come into play this week, from the Gavin Hiltons, the Jordan Riches, the Jaden Lewises, the Michael Henrys. Our offensive line's got to be great. They've got to be really good this week, you know. And so we've talked about that and practiced it. They've all got to be not just really good. They've got to be great this week because this, in my opinion, and as our whole coaching staff said this early in the week, well, really on Saturday morning when we got all of the film on these guys, this is going to be the most complete team we've played all year. This is a very complete football team. Coach Ducati, man, he does a great job with these guys, and they believe in them and what they're doing, and they've been doing it for 7 years now, you know, and they've been really executing this whole game plan. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a great night. It's senior night. Come out, support the Eagles, and let's go get it.
Yeah, please do. So, Coach Scully, thank you for joining us. Put your mic on.
Yep.
And head coach Justin Charles, again, thanks. Look forward to seeing you guys next week. Of course, I'll see you Friday.
That's right.
But won't need a ride home this Friday. But I will.
A little less antics this
week. I may need a ride home from Baton Rouge. So, but anyway, thanks so much, and we will see you next week right here, maybe inside rather than on the front porch.
Either way, I'll make it.
Thanks for joining us, everybody that tuned in. Again, we'll be back here next Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. For the Eagles Nest Coaches Show with head coach Justin Charles and special visitor, defensive coordinator Thomas Scully, and myself. I'm Tom Boucher. You've been watching Eagles Nest Coaching Show on full46sports.com.
Go Eagles.